I used to think that my characters were built on the page. You know, you hear this idea of reading a script and then finding a character in it. But in this latest indie film, I was called to change my body, my physique. And what I learned was, you can build a character in the gym. Independent project, written by one of my dear friends. I was brought on, and there was one of the rewrites that said I was a boxer, which actually helped with the way that this man moved, his physicality. But what I wasn't ready for was late in the game, and we're talking like just before we started filming, I had to have a physique that was believable to be a boxer on camera for a shirtless shadow boxing scene. Now, a little bit of context. If you're doing a fight scene and all my training teaches you how to throw a punch for the camera, and it's very much like a dance with the other person, but if there's nobody there, everybody can see if you can actually do it or not, and it's incredibly exposing. So my character, whose name was Matt, had a backstory that he was a boxer, and then there was this scene that was thrown in last minute where they needed him to be shirtless, boxing, and it needed to look like he's done it for a long time, which meant I had to get very lean to look like a boxer. I'm not a heavyweight. I needed to look visually on the camera like I've done it a long time. So not like a studio project. It's a lot of love and not much time. What I learned from my boxing training, I had a great trainer down at Gleason's in New York, as well as training in the gym. But the change for me was that moment of being absolutely fatigued, body posture and breath of a boxer that translated into all the other scenes. So anytime my character was in an argument or anything that required mental fighting, he would actually like roll his shoulders and almost like protect his chin. And that came from being in the gym training rather than any backstory that I could have put together. All the time I spent training in the ring, punching bags, getting in shape, skipping rope, gave me the physicality to the other scenes, which actually just made the backstory of the character that much more believable. For the actual day that we shot it, I spoke to Miguel, who's the fantastic DP. I explained to him that I'm going to be pretty dehydrated, and once we finish filming, I'm going to then start to consume a lot of water. If I looked like a lean boxer, he made me look amazing, which helped the story. If you actually watch the movie, you can see the scenes where the boxer actually comes out in my character. If you watch the rest of the movie, you can see moments where he can't actually fight the way that he normally fights. So in verbal confrontations, he'll still adopt like the physicality and the mannerisms of protecting his chin. And that was something that came purely from my time in the gym. And I only noticed it once I watched it on the big screen.